You're watching HNNCast with Space Rogue on the Hacker News Network.
HNN is sponsored by Astaro, simplifying security. Become a sponsor. Email sales@hackernews.com.
This is Space Rogue for the Hacker News Network, and this is HNNCast for the first week of February 2010. Our top story this week, the Pushdo botnet has begun some rather strange activity. It is sending out massive amounts of SSL requests without bothering to answer them. Some of the affected sites include the CIA, Amazon, PayPal, Microsoft, even the defcon.org forums, along with a few hundred other sites. The amount of traffic is basically at nuisance levels for most of the larger sites, but some of the smaller sites are experiencing a denial of services. It is not really known why the botnet is making these requests, but some researchers have theorized that it's a way to help disguise the command and control functions of the botnet. Regardless, the increase in SSL traffic has been ongoing for several days with no signs of abating. Google has decided to take a page from Mozilla's playbook and start offering cold cache for vulnerabilities found in their new Chromium browser. This is theoretically a good way to prevent security issues before they become big problems, and it does work to a limited extent. The problem is that Google is only offering between $500 and $1,337 for each vulnerability. $1,337? Oh, I get it. Cute. Anyway, this is a very low dollar amount when it comes to high-quality zero-day holes. It has been estimated that the zero-day hole found in Internet Explorer recently and used against Google could have possibly fetched as much as $40,000 on the underground market. Bug bounties are nice and all, but they better not be your only security tool. Flaws in the way the iPhone handles digital certificates could fool a user into downloading malware onto their phone. The flaw resides in the way the iPhone handles over-the-air provisioning, trusted root certificates, and configuration files. While this attack wouldn't allow anyone to run code on the iPhone, it could allow a whole lot of other bad things to happen. The big news, in my opinion, is that the anonymous poster of this flaw was able to get a signed cert from VeriSign for a company called Apple Computer. There's obviously something very wrong here other than just the iPhone. Last week's defacement of the websites of 49 members of the U.S. House of Representatives by the Red Eye crew has caused quite a stir on Capitol Hill. The defacements occurred during the President Obama's State of the Union address. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi and Minority Leader John Boehner have requested a full investigation. The investigation request specifically targeted the hosting company GovTrends, which was responsible for the hosting of all the defaced sites. This was the second time in 6 months that GovTrends has suffered an embarrassing defacements of government websites. In the latest in an ongoing series of arrests targeting cable modem modders, the feds have arrested WeModder, aka Matthew Delory of Massachusetts, on charges of selling modified cable modems that enabled free internet access. Delory has been charged with 1 count of conspiracy and 1 count of wire fraud and faces up to 20 years in jail for each charge and a $250,000 fine. Delory allegedly ran the old massmods.com website where he would sell the modified cable modems among other products. Delory's arrest follows that of Der Engel, aka Ryan Harris, author of the book Hacking the Cable Modem and admin of TCNSIO.net web forum, who was arrested last October, and Thomas Swingler, admin of CableHack.net, who was arrested just last month. It will be interesting to see if any of these cases actually make it to trial. Is it illegal to change the MAC address of a piece of hardware that you own and then resell it? Or is it just illegal to use that hardware to gain free services? Hopefully they won't take a plea. The answers to these questions could be really interesting. Earlier this week, a previously unknown researcher that went by the name of NOTRAX claimed to have defeated 11 out of 15 voice encryption technologies. NOTRAX claimed that by using a Trojan horse-style software surreptitiously installed onto the victim's smartphone, he was able to bypass mobile voice encryption and eavesdrop on captured conversations in real time. According to NOTRAX, only products from SecureStar could not be defeated. Well, it didn't take very long for NOTRAX to be revealed as a complete and utter fraud, perpetrated probably by SecureStar themselves. Evidently, NOTRAX posted this drivel directly from the SecureStar offices. SecureStar, of course, vehemently denied the accusations. Remember, kids, if you're going to do bad things, do bad things. Don't do them from your home IP. We'll be back with more HNNCast right after these messages.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Hacker News t-shirts, $25 at www.hackernews.com.
Welcome back to HNNCast. The website for the Russian opposition newspaper Novaya Gazeta has been paralyzed by an ongoing DDoS attack for over a week. At its peak, the website recorded over 1.5 million visits per second. The paper has contacted the Federal Security Service and the Interior Ministry, which has promised to launch an investigation. Back in December, we told you about HR 2221, the Data Accountability and Trust Act, which is designed to help prevent data breaches and therefore help protect people from identity theft. Well, now, here come the dentists, doctors, and veterinarians asking for an exemption to the law. They say that protecting their customers from identity theft is too hard for them, and it can't really be held to the same standards as the corner liquor store that accepts credit cards. This, despite the fact that according to the data loss database, medical professionals have lost over 7.5 million patient records. With Obama's mandate that all medical records be digitized, shouldn't there be adequate safeguards in place for those very same records? There's been a bunch of news to come out of Blackhat, DC, which was held this week in DC. A widely used secure microchip from Infineon has been defeated using the electron microscope attack. A major hole in Oracle, which allows complete access to any database, was announced. A new attack called the Connection String Parameter Pollution Attack was said to be able to disrupt communication between a web app and a database, allowing bad things to happen. And Microsoft has released a few new tools in its Security Development Lifecycle program. Slides and white papers from a lot of the talks are already posted to the blackhat.com website. The Greater Manchester Police in the UK were unable to use their network for up to 5 days after it was infected by Conficker. They disconnected themselves from the police national computer system as a precaution to prevent further infection, forcing them to call to neighboring departments to do name and license checks. The department called in a team of experts to remove the infection. They had to call in experts to remove Conficker? Guys, it's not that hard. We'll be right back with the HNN Quickies right after these messages.